Hey, I'm Marc Stevens, author of Government Indicted. Welcome to another short edition of the No Stay Project, and can't get enough of these. I did mention it on the Wednesday broadcast, and so remember we've got two broadcasts a week. We got the Saturday broadcast from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time, and we've been doing for 34 episodes now a Wednesday broadcast, and that is now, thank goodness, on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I did mention this, and so it will be in the success stories part of the website, which has really been active these last few weeks, and I do appreciate when people do get success. I appreciate when they keep in touch with me, whether it's success or not, like we unfortunately saw on the last few shows where Rick was able to get the witness impeached, and they still took the testimony anyway. But it's great also when somebody can send me the documentary proof so that I can post it. So if you're looking at learning how to defend yourself against these crooks, and you've got a ticket or a tax or a drug charge, something like that, and you're looking to effectively defend yourself against these crooks, which you can, then go through, check out what we've got here, and look at the actual evidence. So some may turn around and say that it's just a traffic ticket, but all the same challenges that we would be making for territorial jurisdiction, for example, and a valid cause of action, the same would be in a traffic ticket as well as it would be in a more serious charge. So if we look at the actual tickets that Ian sent me, this is one. Yes, it's traffic. There were a bunch of charges, so I'll get the next ticket in a moment. Actually, the second one is over there. So it's over $1,000 that the Road Pirates are looking to get from Ian for his non-compliance with the rules set forth by the rulers, the so-called government, and so that, together with the cost of increased insurance, certainly. Well, it says here driving without insurance, but the fines alone are over $1,000, so nothing to sneeze at. So remember, the territorial jurisdiction of the police and of the court is based on the same thing, in personam jurisdiction also, that if Ian is physically in British Columbia, if he's physically there, okay, without any regard whatsoever to to any kind of political affiliation or political status, whether a citizen, resident, doesn't matter. His physical location is all they think they need to prove that their laws apply, and that would give them personal jurisdiction and over Ian to stop him and compel him to then participate in court. Now, he did participate on a threat, duress, and coercion. It's right in the motion that he got from me on markstevens.net, and so it's very clear that we are not appearing. Appearing is a technical phrase. You are not appearing, but you are participating on a threat, duress, and coercion. So we like to strip out all the legal weasel words that have a lot of meaning behind them, and not just as a lay term. And so we're participating on a threat, duress, and coercion because that is the evidence. All the data that we have shows that is overwhelmingly what is going on. You're participating on a threat, duress, and coercion, not appearing. Very important. So he filed the motion to dismiss and a discovery request. And yes, in Canada, you are entitled to discovery, supposedly, that all the evidence that they plan on using against you, including exculpatory evidence. Yes, it's not called a Brady request in Canada, but even in Canada, they are required by due process and fairness to give you any information that can be used to impeach the evidence or the witness against you, and so he did not get a response to that. But the judge did initially deny, without explanation, the motion to dismiss, which is very common. But as you'll see in a moment, doesn't matter because it still got thrown out. He filed a motion to reconsider, and also filed to dismiss for prosecutorial misconduct because the prosecutor was arguing without evidence. To say that, hey, our laws apply to you because you're physically in Canada is a legal conclusion. And you have to have evidence to back it up. It doesn't help at all. Don't listen to these people who say jurisdiction is a pure issue of law. As I've said before, if they are looking at your physical location as proof that their rules apply, that is a matter of fact, which is why they say it's a trial issue. And that they have to, okay, so it is not a pure theoretical issue of law. It is a practical application of law, which always requires evidence. In this case, some of the evidence that they admit is actually your physical location. And so in response to this, instead of providing the evidence, what the prosecutor did is something that we're very familiar with here at the No State Project. Okay, you can see this is the prosecutor right here. Peter, I have no idea. His name is Peter. But he wrote this to the clerk of the traffic court registry, Port Coquitlam. And he says, I direct that the proceedings in the above described ticket be stayed. Stayed. Yep, stayed. So this is over. We also have another document. He says, get a load. Now that's some serious Photoshop, and I got to take a moment here and just point out that's some serious photoshopping going on right there. So the prosecutor filed the state of proceedings. According to Canadian law, they have only a couple more days to do something and bring him to trial. But since there's a stay of proceedings, I'm sure he will get a copy from the clerk of a formal dismissal of this. So big congratulations, of course, to Ian for standing up to these predators in British Columbia there and proving once again that we can defend ourselves against these tickets and get it thrown out, sticking strictly to basic principles of logic and that were adopted by the legal system, that the burden of proof is on the accuser. And that burden of proof, they have to have evidence to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and you don't do that by quoting another case. You have to have actual evidence because cases are always fact-specific. So big congratulations to Ian for our latest success story here at markstevens.net, and a big thank you for allowing me, sending me the documentation and allowing me to post that. And as always, if you have a disagreement, and I'll be the first to admit that I believe that based on the circumstantial evidence, the actual evidence we have that led to the prosecutor filing the stay, he couldn't provide the evidence. He failed to make the proper discovery disclosure, so he's withdrawing. I believe that that's what the strongest explanation for this document you're looking at right now, which will of course be available at markstevens.net. Are there other plausible explanations? Yeah, but I believe that the fact that he could not produce the evidence, and hey, that's pretty clear in this case, the fact that he couldn't do that is why he withdrew, because he knew full well that Ian was going to challenge his witness. And the witness is going to be testifying that he had probable cause to do the stop and that Ian violated the laws, and he would have to have personal knowledge to support those claims. He knows the evidence doesn't exist, so he withdraws. So if you do disagree with my analysis and my conclusion that the prosecutor withdrew because he had no evidence, if you think I'm wrong and if you think there's another plausible explanation that's stronger based on the evidence available to us, and hey, call into a live broadcast to present your evidence. I'd love to hear it. And if you think that the prosecutor actually did have a qualified witness, if you believe that the prosecutor had evidence proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the laws of Canada apply to Ian just because he's physically in Canada, I'd be more than happy to set you up as a guest and on one of the two broadcasts. Or you could just ambush me on a live broadcast and present your evidence. I'd love to hear it. Because if we're wrong, we will make a correction. But I've yet to hear the evidence. But I hold out that there may actually be some. Again, I appreciate everyone watching this latest edition of the No Stay Project. Again, congratulations to Ian.